Hey, I'm Angie. This is New Path Tarot, and today we're going to do a pick a card reading that are going to be uplifting messages for you. So, if you're going through a hard time, if there's something going on that is heavy for you that you're dealing with, this is intended to acknowledge and or help you get through your situation. Okay? And some maybe advice and guidance regarding it as well. So, I'm going to give you 3 piles to choose from based on different butterflies because we're using the Enchanted Blossoms deck today and the Animalkin Oracle. So the cards for your piles are going to be the Enchanted Blossoms cards. But instead of showing you them, I'm giving you the names of the butterflies for you to pick from, okay? So pile 1 is going to be Goatweed Leafwig Butterfly. The second one is going to be Monarch. And the third one is going to be Violet Copper. Okay, so despite the fact that goatweed leafwig sounds kind of weird, maybe, for a butterfly, just use your intuition if pile 1, 2, or 3 is going to be the best messages for you today, and maybe it's more than one. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and I'm going to say the names of the butterflies again. Goatweed leafwig, Monarch, Violet Copper. I don't know if you can hear that, but somebody is coughing loudly. Anyways, okay, so if you picked 2 or 3, go ahead and skip to your pile. If you picked 1, stay right here and we'll get started. Okay, pile 1. So, goatweed leafwig, and the flower that's on it is, I don't know how you say it, lupine, I think, maybe. Okay, and it also has this cool little dragon looking serpent thingy on here too. So nice bright red butterfly, nice purple colors for the plant. Okay, and then your supplemental cards are Wolf, Connection. So maybe a wolf is a significant animal for you. And Woodpecker, Opportunity. Okay, so your pile is a very uplifting message right out the gate. Inspiration tells me that either you are inspired right now, you're in that mode, or that it's coming to you. So obviously that's good by itself. Now, opportunity as well, standalone message is that's you're either being presented with an opportunity or it will be coming in. In fact, your problem might be you're in overdrive right now. You're over inspired. You have so many things that you almost have to allocate time to each one. Otherwise, you might not, you're just overwhelmed with how many things you have inspired thoughts about. Also, it could be needing to take one and finish it and then prioritize the others. Or, like I was saying, sectioning them off and allocating part of your day to each thing individually. But yeah, so a lot of opportunities are coming in. If they're not already, that means if they are already, there's going to be even more than you even you might have a hard time with decisions and making choices because you just have so many options. Connection tells me a few things. So they're contrasting energies, but I think you'll get the point of what I mean here is remember where inspiration comes from. It's like this inner knowing, but it's also like an external connection, literally connection. That's why I'm going on that track, because you have to remember that you are getting, this inspiration so that you can live your life the most aligned path that is going to bring you the most abundance and prosperity for your life and for those that you are connected with and who you care about, and setting up your future and all these sort of things. So if you're inspired to do something, there is a reason why. Also, if you're inspired to work with a particular person or maybe connect with a particular person, there might be a reason why. So, like if you're drawn to somebody's energy, if you feel like you have familiarity with them and you have a lot in common, like your kindred spirits, that kind of thing, and you're probably soul family. So, soul family obviously supersedes earth family in many ways, and not just supersedes it, but it's more like this underlying current of connection that we have with each other, that if you believe in the idea of past lives, then it's like this idea that we've had many past lives with each other. So there's so many people on the planet. If you meet somebody in this life, it's highly likely that you've had past lives with them. And if you believe in the idea of soul contracts, then it's like before you incarnated, there's certain people that you had agreements with of what you were going to play a part in each other's lives, such as I'm going to play this role, you're going to play that role. And more so, I'm going to do this action and you're going to react this way. And I don't know, these are all like the mysteries beyond the veil that we understand, but we don't know all the nuances of them. So, anyways, that might be something that's going on in your life too. So, if you're having any kind of confusion about connections in your life, then it is definitely time to go inward and trust your inner wisdom regarding the connections of people in your life. And also maybe do a little research. Those are two contrasting things, because go within is finding your own answers and what you believe for yourself, and doing some research is taking other people's opinions and wisdom, but then you using discernment on what actually you believe in for yourself. And keep in mind, things can evolve over time to where maybe at one point in your life you didn't believe in this concept, but then later on, as time goes on, you're like, you know what, maybe that is actually true, maybe there is some credence to this, maybe I do need to look it up, and so on. Okay, so use this as an opportunity to enhance your spiritual skill set. Use this as an opportunity to enhance your spiritual healing abilities. Those are the two things that I always emphasize for people, is healing and intuition. So they kind of go hand in hand, but they also can be used separately. So if you come across some kind of modality you want to learn or some kind of course you want to take, then I would highly recommend you do so, because that is your soul telling you that you would be benefited by it. But then if money is a problem, then you need to ask the universe to kind of like help line some things up so that you can afford it. Put it on your bucket list for a little while, make some things happen, and then say, okay, now it's time to do this, if you have the opportunity to do so, And then when that inspiration hits you, because it comes in waves, make sure that you are following through as far as until the steam runs out. So let's say you, in the middle of the night, wake up with this like flash of inspiration about something. Write it down. Let's say you wake up in the morning and you feel really inspired for something. Make sure you're following through, because it's not like a permanent state of being. And sometimes it goes cyclically, where like you're like really inspired, high energy, and then you're like, I'm tired and I need to chill. The thing is in the chill time, you are like getting your downloads and stuff. So it's not like nothing is happening. It's just that it's not like, you're supposed to do anything at that time. You're supposed to be on the receptive mode, because there's the ebb and flow of that too. The purpose for the reason that you want to meditate is because you're wanting to be able to get into that blank mind state of being, so that you are able to receive the messages. So you can't have that connection with spirit if your mind's always talking and chattering and going to maybe the negative side of things. You got to raise up your vibration, try to stay there, continually doing things that are going to nourish your soul, continually doing things that are going to further harness your connection with spirit and making sure that you are in receptive mode to receive new opportunities as well. Okay, cool. So that was it for you guys, pile 1. I'm going to move on to pile 2. If you also wanted to hear that message, then you can just stay right here. Pile 2. Your butterfly was the monarch butterfly, which, and your plant was the eucalyptus, which that's like the most common butterfly that I know of. Like everybody knows, well, I don't say everybody, but knows monarch butterfly. And so there's something about you that I feel is like just very, I don't know, like you have a propensity to be well known. I think like you have the ability to be famous, maybe, or just like in the spotlight, like a lot of people watching you or being aware of your life. And I don't know, maybe you put yourself out there a lot on social media or something. You kind of, maybe you tend to air your business or something, because keep in mind, by the way, the key word on this card is protection. So make sure that you're keeping mindful of how you're being perceived due to what you might be portraying yourself as publicly, outwardly. I'm getting this feeling like your sun sign and your moon sign might be very contrasting. And so you might have this battle within yourself of like who you are internally and who you reflect to the outside world, maybe not being in sync, and having this element of like, you're always having to check your authenticity. You might have somebody who's like telling you how to be, like, you should wear your hair down, you should dress like this. It could be a spouse, it could be a parent, it could be your job, like you don't feel like you fit in at your job. You might be surrounded by people who just aren't your vibe. Your social circle, your friends, you got to look at, and then your relationship. If you're in a relationship with somebody who isn't positive for you, if it's a toxic relationship, then that has to be something evaluated. So I think you kind of get what I'm saying. Now I'm going to go on the dark note of things. And I said this reading is meant to be uplifting, but I'm getting a message for you guys that if this is your situation, then it is uplifting by having it validated and acknowledged. So first thing is, I want to go back to the thing, like if you're in the spotlight, if you're having a lot of attention on you, or people meddling in your business, or anything like that, you need to be doing protection from the energy. So it's not just like distancing yourself from people physically, it's also an energy thing, like maybe cutting cords with certain people, and also not just the cords of it, but just like make sure you're like smudging yourself. I personally like incense preferred to like white sage. I don't like the smell of white sage, but I like incense a lot, so I use incense. Make sure like at least once a week you're smudging your home, maybe even do your car, definitely do yourself. Maybe there's some crystals that would help you with protection as well. And who knows, you probably already do this stuff anyway, but I'm just putting it out there in case you don't. Or like a reminder of do more things with it. It's like, sure, they're pretty and they're sitting over there, but maybe you need to make a grid, or maybe you need to position them around your home a little differently or something like that. So they're active as opposed to just sitting there collecting dust. Make sure you're charging them and cleansing them and things like that. Okay, that way they're at optimal use for you and doing what they're supposed to be doing. And make sure you're setting intentions for them. Make sure it's kind of like, they're like a plant is how I view crystals. Like you don't just like have a plant and go, oh, that's nice. You have to water it. You have to, they say that if you talk to your water, it changes it. If you talk to your plants, they thrive. Think about that. As far as if that's the case, then nourishing your own connections with people, connection with yourself, connection with the living type of things that you have in your home, and your home in general, making your home be a safe space. And if you can't do that in your home because you're living with people who are toxic, do that in your own room if you can. So you have to have at least a place that you can go to for respite. Okay, your supplemental cards, you have Manta Ray, Presence, Starfish, Sensitivity. So you're probably an empath. You're probably a highly sensitive person, HSP, if you've ever heard of that. A lot of people have heard of being an empath, but they might not have heard of HSP. Now, so it's something you could maybe look up and see if that, I'm trying to get it so it looks, so you can actually see it better. But anyways, something you might want to look up to see if it vibes with you. So here's the thing. Think about presence, the word of presence, and think about how what we word as like, I'm sensing a presence, you know. It's usually used in the context of entities, right? It's usually used in the context of negative energy. Like, I feel a weird presence. It can be positive too. Like you go to a sacred area and you feel like a presence of like a vortex is what it's usually called. But there's certain places that have like a haunted kind of energy, right? And if you're into the like paranormal stuff, then this is obviously like speaking to you. But I think all of us, at least once in our life, have maybe been in a case where we felt like weird about energy. Like I haven't felt that in a long time, but in the past there was a point in my life where I thought my house was actually haunted. So I was like in this phase of, I mean, I'm not kidding you when I say this. I went to the Catholic Church and I asked to talk to a priest about doing some kind of like come into my house and get out the ickies. Because when I was younger, when I was in 9th grade, I went to a friend of mine who, her 16th birthday, we played with a Ouija board. And I came home and I didn't say anything about it. And my foster mom was like, something's weird. Like she had no idea. And then the next day I came home from school and there was literally, no kidding, a priest sitting in our living room. And he said, have a seat. And I was like, okay, what the hell's going on? Is this like an intervention? Like what? And so he was like, I'm here because your foster mom asked me to come in regards to this and that. And I was just like, what? And then I admitted that that we used a Ouija board and it all made sense to them. And I was like, ah. So anyways, basically I just want to say that in your case, when you're getting presence and sensitivity and protection, it could be literally something weird going on energetically. If not that you already know about physically and tangibly, something energetically behind the scenes. I would just go the extra mile and do whatever protection stuff that you are aware of. Maybe, I mean, I personally know for sure that I've had people doing like workings against me. And though I personally don't resonate with like being a witch or something, I know that I've had work done by somebody against me. So I then myself, since I don't know how to do it myself, had somebody do like a hex breaker and some other stuff, like just basically protection things, so that none of what they were doing could mess with me, because I've got too much on the line. So I've already been messed with enough. I need like my life to be chill and legit and smooth from now on. So, you know, I mean, you might have literal that you have proof of, but you might have other stuff, and it might be both. Either way, if you're really sensitive to energy in general, a lot of times empaths will attract narcissists to them. So be really careful getting into relationships. Make sure you're looking for red flags and you're not just dismissing things. If something makes you feel like, you know, I swear to God, every time you get in a relationship with somebody, you the red flags were there, but you were just ignoring them. And then in hindsight, you're like, oh, I really wish I listened to my intuition on that. But it is what it is. So anyways, that's it for you guys, pile 2. If you have any questions, and if this really, really resonated with you, I would highly suggest you get a personal reading so we can dig into everything. But otherwise, just knowing about it can help, honestly, so that you don't feel like you're crazy. You're like, you know what? There is something going on. Okay, I'm cool. I know now. So anyways, have a great day. See you guys later. Okay. Pile 3, hello. You picked the violet copper butterfly, and it has the daffodil as the flower as well. And so you also got pig, which is abundance, and you got, I don't know what this is, peahen. Isn't that peacock? They called it a peahen. Female? Yeah. Okay, never heard of that before, but I like it. Okay, which is nurture. So here's the dealio. Pig in feng shui is a totem of abundance. Like if you want to attract abundance, get a little pig, think piggy bank, duh, right? I'm like, of course, like we even know about this. Okay, so literally getting a little piggy bank is like a manifestation type thing, and in feng shui it's like energetically bringing in abundance to you. Dig a little deeper, find out which bagua, if you know what I'm talking about, which room in your home, which area of that room, there's 2 components to it, is the abundance corner in the abundance corner of your home. Just a little fun thing. So make it fun is the kind of thing I'm going with here. Now, with nurture and abundance, you need to nurture your abundance. That's why I'm saying go the extra mile, because I feel like you putting some extra effort into this department with manifestation is going to go supercharged for you. So I actually literally just did a video, either my last one or the one before, because I did them on the same day. Now I can't remember which one was which, but I did this video that talked about my service that I offer, that's manifesting blueprint. And because you picked this pile, I'm going to go on a limb and say feng shui would work for you, because there's like different things that work better for certain people. So like the control group of 100 people can all do the same thing, and some it's going to manifest better for them than others. And in your case, that's what I'm getting, is that you putting some effort into manifestation is going to, and with physical objects, is going to work for you. Beginnings. So this could be something new for you, that you might also even be in a beginning year. If you add up your birth month and day and what year it is right now when you're watching this, see what number that is. If you're in either like a 9 or a 1, 9 meaning you're about to have a beginning, 1 meaning, because we're coming up on a new year, and 1 being that you're in the beginning. So if you're like in the 1, 2, or 3 stage of things, you're in the beginning of certain elements in your life. You might be having new beginnings in general, like new baby, new relationship, new job. If not now, coming in. If you're wanting those things, then this is a good omen that those things are going to happen for you. Okay, so the beginnings of abundance. If you're having a hard time financially right now, this is also saying that that's not going to be the permanent for you. That's temporary. You will come out of that. You will end up being successful. Also for you guys, I would suggest doing like with candles or something, something about bringing money in also. Or if you're needing a new job, do something to help facilitate that also. Nurture overwhelmingly is take care of yourself and make sure that you're putting yourself first, because you have to in order to be able to fully help other people. So if you're a caretaker, this is validating that, but it's also further emphasizing your need for making sure that you are healing the healer. So do what you need to do, whether it be you go get a massage, you go take a day to have a vacation or something, take a break. You might be somebody who's like, you're overworking and you need to take a break because you're just exhausted, and then your adrenals are going to get taxed, and then you're going to have your immune system be compromised, and then you might get sick, you know. So it's all like this thing. Make sure you're eating right, drinking water, maybe some exercise. I say maybe. I mean, obviously, it would be implied. And then maybe you're wanting to begin new ways of doing these things. Like, don't wait for the new year to do a new year resolution. You know, start now, because by then you'll already have been that much further along than if you wait till then. So, beginning a new routine of health and looking after yourself and all that sort of thing. New diet, new way of doing things, getting more sleep, and whatever else along those lines. Also, beginnings of making sure that if you're not already, doing some kind of spiritual thing every day to work on enhancing your skills, because the more you use them, the stronger they get. And so, like I always say, get a deck of cards, pick a card a day, journal about the card. And then over time, you're going to notice certain themes. So maybe not even just journaling about the card itself, but a little tidbit about what was going on in your life that day. And over time, when something big does happen, you're going to notice trends, and you're going to be able to relate to the cards on a personal level instead of being so mechanical like memorization. And I always say oracle decks are easier because, as you can see, it says beginnings, like cut and dry. You can't get any more simplistic than that. When you use tarot cards, you're sitting here going in the book and you're like, oh, no. So these are just a little bit easier. But then again, you personally, your group might be somebody who is more adept at tarot. Like, you might be drawn to it. You might want to actually begin your path of learning tarot and or deepening it. So if there's like a course that you feel drawn to take to learn the tarot, I mean, there's like free videos on YouTube you can use to do that as well. Lots of books and resources as far as that goes. Just whatever you feel drawn to, that you are led to. Okay, so going just back to this note about nurture, and if you're a caretaker for others, this is literally just kind of like, maybe that's a career path that you might have thought about or want to pursue also. Because coming out with abundance, it could be a career move. So if you're thinking about going into maybe healthcare or literal like caretaking or something along those lines, then this would actually be confirming that that would be a good move for you to do. Or something in, you can discern what you've already had in line with where you might want to take that. Or if you're already doing it, then this is confirming that you're on the right track. Might as well keep going with it, because sometimes people are like, well, maybe I should do something else. If you are burnt out though, and you know it's not fulfilling you, then by all means start something new. But in the meantime, you might want to stay with what is supporting you so that you have what you need when you need it. But keep in mind that if you do want to start something new, put the beginning motion of that, but you don't necessarily have to take a leap right away. It doesn't have to be like, one day I'm doing this and now I'm going to quit and now I'm going to do something new completely. You can phase into it so that it's not so abrupt and shocking, because whether it's a good change or not, it's still going to be something that affects you and is a shock to your system in a way. So good changes can still be shocking also, not just only bad changes. All right, well, that's what I got for you guys today, group 3. I am going to leave you there. If you were helped by this, if you found this helpful to you, please like the video, because that does help with algorithms and getting more publicity or whatever, you know. All right, so thank you, and I will see you later. Goodbye.